The state of New Jersey charged 3 young men, ages 18 to 20, with illegal handgun possession. All 3 men filed motions to dismiss based on Second Amendment grounds and won. But the state has now reinstated the charges, saying that the Second Amendment doesn't apply because the young men didn't apply for the permit that bans them from applying for the permit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We see a lot of nutty logic when it comes to gun control law, but this one is a new circle jerk of flawed logic. The logic is that someone doesn't have rights because they didn't apply for the thing that state law prevents them from applying for. Someone make it make sense because I can't. But before I get into all of the details here, I would like to thank Ammo Squared for being a friend of this channel. Ammo Squared is an automated ammo subscription model that makes sure that you have ammo when you want it. But unlike traditional subscription services, you aren't forced into a set budget or monthly shipments. You pick your calibers, how much or how little you're looking to spend each month, and pick a shipping trigger. All ammo is factory new from brands that you trust and stored in a climate-controlled environment until you're ready to have it shipped to your door. They have over 70 calibers to choose from, no minimum to buy, and no extra fees, and all orders are shipped out in 1 to 2 business days, and all orders of $250 or more are shipped completely free. So shout out to Ammo Squared for being a friend to this channel. Here we have 2 different cases of 3 different young adults that were all just rolled up into one court cluster. I'm not allowed to say that this soon in the video. Cluster F. Jaron Phillips was 18 when he fled from cops on August 13th, 2021 after a command to stop. He allegedly tossed a 9mm pistol with, quote, large capacity magazine off his person as he ran. As he was 18 and New Jersey bans handguns for people under 21, he did not have a permit. Kyreed Pinkett and Dejon Preston were 19 and 20, respectively, when they were in a car stopped by police on January 13th, 2022. During the traffic stop, cops found 2 9mm guns, both with high-capacity mags, one with 12 rounds and the other with 16. Again, both men were under 21 and thus did not have permits. Now, I will say that we don't know what any of these 3 young men were doing to be stopped by the cops, but they were all indicted for illegal gun possession. None of their original cases were listed on PACER. I could not find anything on them. I'm guessing because they all filed motions to dismiss based on Second Amendment rights, and the judge agreed, dismissing the charges. There weren't even news articles about any of these guys, except for a bit on Phillips being a big high school varsity football star, and even his Twitter account is nothing but football and football workouts. I know y'all are going to draw your own conclusions here, but to my knowledge, these guys were not hit with any other charges except for the illegal handgun possession, and we don't have any evidence that they were doing anything else, quote-unquote, wrong. Either way, what they were doing at the times of their arrests doesn't much matter as, like I said, a previous judge agreed that the charges violated their Second Amendment rights. But now, the Appellate Division of the New Jersey Superior Court reinstated the charges, stating, "We conclude defendants lacked standing to raise their Second Amendment claims because they failed to apply for a handgun carry permit." So, the state does not give permits to anyone under 21, as per state law, but the court is arguing that these young men should have spent the $200 to apply for a permit they knew they wouldn't get in order to be able to argue Second Amendment grounds in case they were ever later caught with illegal guns due to a denied permit. The original court that dismissed the charges acknowledged that applying for the permit would have been futile, that it might have not even been accepted by authorities due to their ages, and that these guys, even under the age of 21, are considered people and therefore protected by the Second Amendment. The appellate court argued the opposite, saying that they aren't part of the people protected under the Second Amendment, and even better, says that the argument that the licensing authorities would have followed the law and not granted a permit based on the men's ages is pure speculation. Despite state law, the judges here argue there's no evidence to support that the men would have been denied based on age. The wonderful state of New Jersey argued that banning people under 21 from gun possession is well within Bruen, and the appellate court agreed. They argue that because the Second Amendment says well regulated, that regulating handguns, especially regarding public carry and public carry by certain age groups, is both well established and constitutional, along with part of a historical tradition. The court also defended the state's requirements for character references and proof of good moral character with carry applications, and spent a good part of the court document justifying these requirements, and saying that because none of the men had provided proof that they would have been granted a permit on all grounds except for age, that they had not exhausted all their options to carry legally. The record contains no evidence that any of the defendants would have satisfied the numerous statutory requirements other than the age requirement had they applied for a handgun carry permit. Although Phillips's counsel and Pinkett's counsel submitted certifications in support of their client's dismissal motions, neither certification addressed the statutory requirements for a handgun carry permit. Preston's counsel did not submit a certification. We are, therefore, unable to find that defendants' purported right to carry a handgun in public was abridged by the statute's age requirement, or that they have standing to challenge the constitutionality of the weapon possession charges they face. The court argued that, if they'd applied, there would have been a full record of why they were denied. Remember, a denial that the court said wasn't guaranteed, and then that denial paper trail would prove that they were denied based on age, and that's what proof would be needed to claim age-based Second Amendment grounds. Now, all three men also asked for an evidentiary hearing to show that they would satisfy the other non-age-based requirements, which also leads me to believe that they're not criminals, because then why else would they submit to all this? And despite the court's argument about needing this evidence, the court said they don't have enough standing to warrant such a hearing either. Absolutely bonkers. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Then they ended it with a note. If you don't agree, punt it to the state Supreme Court. I hope that they do pursue it further, but New Jersey doesn't exactly have a good record here, so I'm not sure how far they're going to go. Alright folks, that is it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you are new here, ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.